Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a brand new episode of Flesh Wound Fist, where we review and discuss your and our favorite action films. This is the world's first and only combination trivia host and professional wrestling announcer of Chilean descent that currently resides in Southern California, Ozzy V. And with me, as always, on this program, first in the Northern California Bay Area, world famous juggler, Greg Larson. How you doing, Greg?
I am happy to be awake after watching both versions of this movie. How about yourself, Ozzy?
I'm good. I'm good. Also with us, ladies and gentlemen, Flesh Room producer Todd. How you doing, Todd?
Chilling.
Chilling as
And I do want to
always.
say, happy October. It is the first October of our Halloween
The first
season.
October of what?
so far. The first Monday of October Halloween season. There we go.
There we go. October 6th. And today we do have the pleasure of reviewing the 1986 film Aliens, the sequel directed by James Cameron. Todd, do you have a trailer available?
Yes, I do.
Just tell me one thing, Burke. You're going out there to destroy them, right? Not to study, not to bring back, but to wipe them out.
That's the plan.
All right, people, on the ready line. Are you me? Yeah! Are you me? Yeah! Are you? You on the ready line, Marine? Get some to die! Get on the ready line! Get your leg up here.
Keep back, don't scare.
Movement! Talk to me, Hudson!
I got signals. I got readings in front and behind.
There's nothing back here.
Look, I'm telling you, there's something moving and it ain't us.
Get them out of there.
They got the power.
How could they cut the power, man? They're animals.
There's movement all over the place!
5 meters, man. 4.
Aliens. This time, it's war.
I almost was expecting it for say, this time it's personal, but this time it's war. So initial thoughts on this. So I'd only seen the sci-fi TV version of this movie, complete with commercials. So this was my first time seeing it all the way through, and I was a huge fan of this when I was like in my teens going to Not Scary Farm. They actually had an alien maze where they were able to use the likeness of xenomorphs within the maze, and they did
Well,
such a good job.
Back then, they just kind of did it. There was
well.
a certain time that it switched up.
Well, xenomorphs were featured, and they actually did a really good job on the maze, making it look like the cocooned portions of those hallways. So it was good to revisit that. I'm sorry, I didn't give any details on this. We just went into initial thoughts immediately. My apologies. This was released on July 18th, 1986. The theatrical had a runtime of 137 minutes. The director's cut, a 154-minute runtime. And the theatrical version, I think director's cut, my apologies, both are rated R. This was based on characters by Ronald Shusett and Dan O'Bannon. Story by Walter Hill, David Giller, my apologies, and James Cameron, which he also wrote the screenplay as well, also taking over directorial duties, did Cameron. Starring Sigourney Weaver, Michael Biehn, who attended some acting classes between here and Terminator, and Paul Reiser as well in the infamous, I should say, Burke role.
So
So
I
now,
wish I would have grabbed this. This is what I still have. The director's cut first came out, it was a big deal.
yeah. So I mean, well, some of these director's cut scenes, we'll get into those shortly, with good reason to mention that. But I was pleased that Michael Biehn he played Kyle Reese in the 1984 James Cameron film Terminator, and he vastly improved. I feel like in terms of his acting skill when he was previously Kyle Reese, which was a plus. I really enjoyed. I mean, even though you don't get like the first guns fired in this movie until like a little over an hour in, which is interesting. It was almost kind of a trick because it didn't feel like I was bored, but I just almost noticed I was like, have they fired one bullet? And it's we're this far into it, but the runtime kind of accounts into it. There was a lot of focus made on the story and setting things up for the action, which was great. I did find it interesting how the ship they used to get there looked like a giant gun. It looks like they took a giant gun and just like used it as a model. But initial thoughts for you guys.
I do have a question for you. When you're talking about this, are you talking about the theatrical or director's cut or both?
We're going with the theatrical, and then we
Okay.
can talk about the director's cut a little bit afterward.
Gotcha. So the most experience I had with Aliens prior to this is a Spaceballs reference and a Conker's Bad Fur Day reference. So probably should have seen the first one before I jumped into this.
I was gonna ask that, and I think like the first time I saw Aliens, I hadn't seen Alien, but you can kind of fill in the. I might have seen it bits and pieces with my cousins, but I think you're able to fill in the blanks. Would you?
Oh yeah, 100%. And like plus, at this point in time, you've at least somewhat heard the story of Alien, so it's not as if it's that big of a deal. But I still think Conker's Bad Fur Day did it better, but that's neither here nor there. But it was a fun adventure. I did choose to watch the director's cut first, and a little spoiler, I was nervous because I didn't get it. But then I watched the theatrical and I was like, oh, this is a fun film. This is great. This is wonderful. I get why the hype is there. And so I was stoked for that adventure of it and glad that we're now past on this journey. So I'll probably start watching some of the others.
So, and that was one of the things I wish I would have thought of sooner, because not thinking you guys hadn't seen it. Like, director's cut is definitely more appreciated. See the theatrical cut and wanting more, and that's how you're kind of left from that one. Then getting that, because the new scene. Well, we'll get to that eventually, but yeah. So I'm glad you went back and watched theatrical. This isn't James Cameron's first Alien movie. We talked about it last week on this year's October tournament, and James Cameron worked on an Alien ripoff for Roger Corman in the production, and he also hired to help him work, because I think was he building sets. I know. Go back and listen to the show, but he hired Bill Paxton to work backstage too. So before they go back. Then after that, Terminator and all that other stuff. But yeah, James Cameron comes out of the Roger Corman School of Filmmaking.
Gotcha. So getting into some of these favorite moments.
I gave you the fun fact, but I didn't give you anything else. I saw this theatrically. No, that's fine. I just realized that. Like, I saw this theatrically in '86. I was young. I was 10 years old. So obviously this is like aliens and like guns and stuff. Yeah, everything a 10-year-old in the 80s loves. So it was pretty awesome. And like I said, when I grew up with, and when the director's cut came out, I had to get it. And it's just one, there's a reason why Cameron, this T2, but it's really just Cameron just like starting to be Cameron.
Right. Do you guys think if this came out today, this movie would be considered woke?
Everything that comes out today is considered woke for some.
Yeah.
that
Well,
he
I mean, no,
realized
but
was
the
then.
reason I bring this up is it wasn't too long ago, or like look
No,
at
it'd be a
the.
propaganda film now, wouldn't it? Because you got the Marines coming in to save the day.
Well, no,
you
I
got
meant
a strong female lead
Oh,
and
yeah,
a
oh,
that's
no.
what
strong
I'm
buff
getting at.
female.
That's what.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. It seems like
Oh,
whatever we have, or if there's a movie that has
gotcha.
a strong female lead and it doesn't do well in the box office, it's then considered a woke film, and then the
Well,
reason it
yeah,
doesn't do
yeah,
well
it
is
is. Well,
because
it's Fox,
audiences.
it's Disney, damn woke alien.
No, but the argument is, oh well, people aren't ready for a strong female lead when it's like.
Well, I remember when they were doing the Hunger Games promotions, and what's her name? What's the lead of Hunger? Jennifer Lawrence said she was the first lead female in an action movie with a straight face. So
That's pretty funny.
yeah,
I do actually think Pamela Anderson would be considered before her for Barbed Wire.
that's
Hey,
right.
there you
damn it.
go.
Sorry.
Yeah, but
And then there is
Maybe
also maybe Angelina Jolie as Tomb Raider. That's another one. But whatever.
Aliens
So-
86 beats it.
Well, of course, but I mean it. But if anybody were to look at this and it's like, no, that this isn't like that's not like a campy action movie. This is like that's a good film. It was,
And we were
James Cameron
super
movie.
misogynist back in the 80s, but no one was complaining about this then.
That's true. One of the Marines completely froze, or the lieutenant froze, didn't know what to do, and Ripley had to take control, and nobody complained about it, right?
We even got brown face in this movie and no one complains.
I think that was the take. That was the exchange. Is that they could do brown face, and then they could go with whoever they want as the strong lead.
And you know who Vasquez is in Terminator 2, right?
I do not.
John Connor's mom.
Huh. Interesting. Janelle.
Yeah.
Janelle.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, John LaJoy, or no, John LaJoy
From The League.
Yeah, what's
That's his name?
Okay, he wrote a song titled Todd and Janelle.
Yes, he did.
It's about their relationship.
Hmm.
Just complete sidetrack. Lost it there. My apologies. Going back to Aliens.
Wolfie's Just Fine is the band, by the way.
Wolfie's Just Fine. I apologize. There was more criticisms I had. Not criticisms, but more like Mystery Science Theater like quotes, or not quotes, but like more like lines there, like the ship looking like a giant machine gun. Wow. I'm gonna have to. I thought I wrote something down. You guys go first here for me, please.
I mean,
In terms of favorite moments.
My favorite moment, like, how badass is it to be in like a deep sleep and the first thing you do when you wake up is put a cigar in your mouth? Like, no time wasted. Like, that was such a great badass. Like, all right, Marines, let's go. I thought that was a very fitting for really getting to know this, have this character.
Todd?
I love Hudson. I love Bill Paxton, and he's awesome in this. He's always been my favorite character, and he's my favorite thing about it. I mean, and then the Queen aliens, beyond badass. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. I game over, man. I don't know.
That's right.
So in 1998, Probe Entertainment had developed a game called Aliens Trilogy. It was similar to like the Die Hard trilogy, if you're familiar with that, where
Yes.
the games themselves were very loosely based on the movies themselves, but still just fun. Like they made them fun. So when this one came out, I wasn't a huge fan of first person shooters, but I enjoyed that game in particular. And I think what did it for me is the sound of the pulse rifle that you would use. The exact same sound effect from the movie was ripped and put into the game. And that added such a level of just like immersiveness, and as basic as the video game was of just doing whatever you needed it to do, if you take a step back and look at this film, it kind of reminds you of playing a video game. You go to this area. Oh, wait. Hey, you can't use your bullets because they have acidic blood and they'll rip through this whatever reactor. So you can only use your flamethrower. Right. And oh, no, we left 2 people there. We got to go back in. Right. And oh, they cut our power. Right. Just mentioned we're going to go here. Oh, this plane's going to crash. Like it feels very much like playing a video game of today. I mean, Greg, if you could.
Well, and let's not forget that sweet, sweet green font that they had on every computer. Like that is classic 80s and video games.
You can travel like to different planets, no problem. But getting color computers, hey, don't get ahead of yourself.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Green and
You're
black,
not going to play solitaire Minesweeper on here. So is it, Todd, should we have 2 separate ratings for theatrical and director's cut? Or can we give a rating for the theatrical and then go over the scenes in the director's cut?
However you want to do it. I'm fine either way.
I'm going to be honest. I started to watch the director's cut. I didn't get to finish it yet. But I can rate actually, I'm sorry. Did I get you guys your favorite moments yet?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of critiques, I do have a major one. It bothered me a little bit. It's when Ripley and Newt are in the room and a couple of facehuggers are in there as well. Burke turns off the camera, right? And Ripley's trying to smash through the bulletproof glass, soundproof as well, and nothing's making a dent until she puts the fire alarm, gets that off. Higgs comes in. Hicks, I'm sorry. I'm thinking Higgs, Death Stranding too. My apologies.
Oh, good.
Hicks comes in and he throws himself through and crashes through that bulletproof and soundproof glass. Now, that seemed kind of weird to me, especially since that chair that she used made me think, oh, that's just like a really hard reinforced kind of plastic glass, right? So for him to just throw himself and it crashed just like glass was kind of like, hey, wait a second. And the only reason that stuck out in my mind is because that's what saved them, essentially allowed to save them from those facehuggers. It was like the only way they were able to move on in this movie. It just really stuck out in my mind. Am I wrong on that?
No.
Do you understand what I'm talking about, Todd? At least I know you've seen this a bunch of times.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. It's never bothered me, but I get it.
Yeah, that was just the one thing. That was it. That was the only thing I could come up with, really. How about you guys?
If I'm talking theatrical, I just think it's weird that everyone in the Marines, like you've got the one person who survived this like alien incident to begin with. So she's basically like the first to really like know what's going on. And yet they're like, who's this person? I mean, granted, it's 50 whatever years later, whatever, but like if they're like Ripley's the Christopher Columbus, if you will, of this alien knowledge, which really isn't the first, but still, when it comes to
well, I mean, and she never really enslaved any aliens. So.
Yeah. But when it comes to like history of something, like you would think everyone would know who she is, especially the Marines who like are probably battling these things. And so to have this moment of like, who's this lady think she is, like I don't know, it's a little weird,
And by the way, I realize I didn't give my favorite moment of this. It was the mech suit. When as soon as she shows up with the mech suit to fight the queen,
the loader.
Yes, the loader.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. You look at it, it's a mech suit. It's a mech suit. I watched Exo Squad as a kid, which was a show just about armies of mech suits, and it was awesome. So that's the first thing I thought of when I saw her in the loader suit. It was a mech suit. So continue. Todd, did we get a favorite moment from you?
I just gave Hudson. That's
right. That's right. Now I remember. Okay. So Todd, how about a critique?
I've never really had any. I still really don't. It's just, takes everything from Aliens and turns it into an action film, and I loved it then, and I love it now.
So let's get into these director's cut scenes. Um, First, the one I was able to see, which gave a lot of context to Ripley's connection or um, uh, as soon because as soon as she sees Newt, she takes care of her and kind of becomes that mother figure to her. There's a scene in the director's cut where Burke informs Ripley that her daughter, who Ripley had told that she would be there for her 11-year-old birthday, uh, because of the cryo sleep, was now 66 years old and had just passed away. So, and that was Ripley reacting to that news of her daughter had passed away and didn't even, the last memory she had of her, she was of 10 years old and was not able to say goodbye, so to speak. So having that scene happen there and adding with how much care she has for Newt has a little connection there, which helps. Anything you wanted, guys? Anything you guys wanted to add? Well, sorry, what's that, Todd?
When
or
is it?
Greg?
When is it in the Alien? Doesn't Ripley like give birth to an alien or something at some point in the?
That's a dream.
series?
She has a dream sequence.
No, I thought in one of the other movies she did or something, or maybe I haven't seen them, but
Yes.
okay.
There's
Is
also
that
a dream
future
sequence.
movies or
Yes.
okay? Then never mind.
Oh, is there a dream sequence in Alien too? No, I know that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, something in the future.
Okay,
That's all I'll say.
then never mind.
Oh, and to go back, with the woke thing, I do kind of remember with Alien Romulus because it had a female lead. People were complaining it was woke, and then other people with brains had to remind them, Aliens, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection 4. No,
Yeah, Alien Resurrection, Alien 4.
Okay.
Where it's funny how like these franchises had the first movie, the alien is on board the ship on their way back. In the second movie, they make it to the planet and there's a queen alien. Oh shoot. The third movie, now there's a different type of alien.
The third movie, they're in prison with Charles S. Dutton Rock.
And then the alien hates fire, but no, it doesn't care about fire, but it hates water. Ooh, what a twist.
And
But-
the current
fourth
Alien
one.
show is awesome, by the way.
Oh, the Alien Earth. Is it
Yeah.
Alien Earth on Hulu?
Yeah.
Okay.
awesome.
Which, by the way, on Hulu is where you can see the theatrical version of this film, currently available streaming now.
Or Disney
Um,
Plus, I believe, too, with Hulu.
Gotcha. So we've had our critiques, we've had our favorite moments. Getting into the ratings, this is such a fun science fiction suspense action mashup. It's hard not to like. Sigourney Weaver does such a good job being just like kind of a badass character. Like she goes from at first, in the first film, it was a horror movie, so everybody's terrified. But the second movie kind of shows the growth here, and just especially when there's a child on the line that she needs to save, just loads up with a bunch of ammo. Which, by the way, you have a director's cut scene. That's what we were in the middle of. I apologize. Before we get into the ratings, is a scene between her and Higgs right before she heads out. She says goodbye to him, and he turns to her and says, Dwayne, inferring that his first name is Dwayne. She turns to him and says, Ellen, inferring that was the first time that she mentions her first name in the entire franchise. Other directors' cut scenes involve there's sentry guns that are mentioned. Todd, I'm going to let you elaborate on these next two scenes, especially since I haven't seen them really, and I took notes of them. So can you talk about our sentry gun scene?
Is the sentry gun? Greg watched it too. That's when the aliens are coming and the gun bullets are running out. Is that not in the other cut? I didn't rewatch theatrical.
There are two large automated sentry guns.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's when the aliens are coming down the tunnels, and they're just like spinning through all the bullets.
Mhm.
It's a tension scene.
There's also some more um, reveal of the corporate involvement of the Wayland-Yutani group and its co-financing of the colony, um, just more along the lines of the company's agenda. Uh, in a scene where Greg, feel free to jump in as well, Bishop is dissecting the face hugger. Instead of in the theatrical version, Ripley is quick to be frustrated, whereas in the director's cut scene, it's a little bit expanded, showing some more. You guys can fill in the blank for me if you know what I'm talking about.
There's more conversation. Yeah, like everything that's cut is really just story development, which, yeah, it still works with the stuff missing, but I don't remember specifics.
Yeah, a lot of it blurs together for me, if I'm honest. I have some very negative thoughts when it comes to the director's cut. So, like,
go for it.
To be fair, so I watched the director's cut first, and after about an hour, I was like, why do people like this movie? Like, I feel like I'm gonna be panning this like great cinematic like masterpiece that so many people love, and I just did not get it. And so I feel maybe now that I've seen it, and I'm like, I've seen the theatrical, and I did enjoy that. Um, and maybe if I want some extra info, sure, maybe I'll watch the extra stuff. But I just felt like so much was just dragging in this film. Like it was probably like over an hour and a half before the first Alien, maybe like an hour and 50 minutes until the first, like an hour, sure, I get that. An hour and like 50 minutes to like see the first like edit. Come on. Like I'm all about story, but it was dragging, man. And I was almost falling asleep during certain parts of the director's cut. So yeah, that's that.
So, in getting to the ratings, like I mentioned, it was such a great science fiction, suspense, action mashup, and I'm referring to the theatrical. I couldn't help but have a good time from start to finish. It was like experiencing what almost like a modern video game is today, and I'm always a fan of that. It is a 5 from me for this film.
Yeah, theatrical, much better pacing. Like even though it still was a while for the aliens to get into it and such, I did enjoy like what was going on. I did enjoy the story of it. I liked how things, kind of connected moment to moment, and didn't feel like there was too much fluff. Like it was just the right amount of stuff, and it really is a fantastic film. I don't think I'm gonna go 5, but I'll definitely give it a 4.5.
Todd?
All right. Yeah, I'm a 5. I mean, I like both cuts, but again, like I got used to the theatrical, then I got more, so I love the extra. So maybe next time I'll try the theatrical, see how it plays.
All right, yeah, absolutely. And if you do want to check this out, again, as mentioned earlier, it is available to stream on Hulu or Disney Plus with Hulu. Feel free to check it out. And if you will be in the Orange County area this week, I'll be returning to hosting trivia this Tuesday at the Rush Bar and Grill in Lake Forest beginning at 7 o'clock. Also this Wednesday at the Brewery in Placentia, also at 7 o'clock. Both nights free to play and prizes for the top winning teams. Also got to say, Todd, if you can throw up the graphic, this Saturday, October 11th, the last tournament on the left, an 8-man horror-themed deathmatch tournament. If you're ready to start celebrating Halloween, this is a great way to do so. You can get your tickets. There we have a QR code here. You can go to the brand new fleshwoundfeatures.com website. This will be happening again on Saturday, October 11th, 2025 at the Metroflex Gym in Hawaiian Gardens, California, with the doors opening at 6 p.m. and first bell at 7. I'll be providing my ring announcer duties. Our own Pugs Dread will be right there doing color commentary. Our very own Michael Kruger will be in the tournament. and a certain individual who refers to a beanie as a winter cap will be in attendance as well. And of course, Todd, Fleshman producer Todd. So, you gentlemen have anything else before you head out of the evening?
Yeah, I just got to say, you mentioned this a couple weeks ago, and after my frustration with the director's cut, I'm very excited for my vacation coming up because I think you're right. I'm turning more and more into Ozzy with my frustrations, and so yeah, stoked for this vacation. That's all.
So, are you saying when you go like a long time without a vacation, you start to like really nitpick stuff? Like, what? I don't understand what the.
Well, because you had made mention a couple episodes ago with some of my critiques that you're like sounding more and more like Ozzy in your frustrations, and maybe I need this little vacation so I can get back to form.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. So, Todd, do you have anything before you head out?
See you Saturday.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, for world famous juggler Greg Larson and Flesh Wound producer Todd, I'm Ozzy V. You did enjoy this episode of Flesh Wound Fist. Next week, we're going to be back with a brand new episode. So please, actually, a Flesh Wound Farce, not Flesh Wound Fist.
Spooky episode for Halloween.
Spooky episode. So feel free to join us next week on a brand new episode of Flesh Wound Farce.